Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
That's Blondie, Call Me on XFM. Josh Widdicombe on a Saturday morning, and for the first hour, for the third time I'm joined by a celebrity guest. Would you class yourself as that, Mr. Rob Beckett?
Probably not a celebrity guest.
You class yourself as a guest?
Just a guest.
Just a guest?
Yeah, just a guest.
If people were to recognise you, did you get recognised in the street?
I get, you're that bloke from the jungle.
If you don't know Rob, he played Mowgli. No, you were feral. No, what you were on? I'm a Celebrity.
Yeah, I did.
You weren't a contestant.
No, I did the.
Give it a couple of years.
Yeah, see how it's going. See what's happening with the mortgage. No, I did I was a comedian on the Extra spin-off show. I'm a Celebrity. Get Me Out of Here Now. The longest title ever.
Do you abbreviate that to initials?
Oh, they try to on Twitter, but it's like hashtag IMCGHN, and everyone's just like,
oh, come on, mate.
The other show.
Yeah, the other show.
The extra bit.
Just call it Rob Beckett's Jungle Show.
Yeah.
And also, obviously, Out of 10 Cats and all that.
All that jazz.
All that jazz.
Stand-up comedy, all that.
Stand-up
malarkey.
comedy, that's what you're famous for in my eyes.
Yeah, that's what we first met. Yeah.
This morning, Rob, I'm going to tell you a story. I had a bit of an issue this week.
Yeah.
Now, we've all sent texts to the wrong person. That's simple. That's a thing everyone does. Let's move on. Right. Have you ever sent a text to a number you don't have in your phone book by mistake?
I've never done that, but I did. My mate recently had lost his phone and he needed his boyfriend's phone number, right? So I went, I've got it, and just put loads of random numbers in. Right. But I thought I'd done too many and just thought, they'll think this is a joke, obviously, because I've put like 15 digits. But I not only did a correct amount of digits, it was a number that works. So he rung it,
God.
it rung through, and hello, is Sid there? And he was just like, no, who's this? So like his proper.
So he's dating someone called Sid.
Yeah.
A good name.
Sidney Lima.
Yeah.
Sidney Lima, he's Brazilian.
You see, well, you've done that on purpose. Right? What happened to me, I was forwarding on a text to someone, because it was I got a text from my friend, and I'm going to have to just talk around the subject here.
Okay.
It was about the girl he was seeing, and how she was under the misapprehension that when someone was circumcised, they took more than the fact.
The whole top bit.
They took the whole top bit. They took, I mean,
there's definitely a better word.
You know the band The Four Tops.
Yeah.
They took the whole of the Four Tops. They didn't just take the solo artist. If you get what I mean.
I didn't know they did bar mitzvahs.
Well, no, she probably imagines they do, due to a lack of knowledge of Jewish culture, obviously. So I had a text that said, Fran thought that when you were circumcised, they cut off and then I wrote a word that I can't say now.
Yeah.
And I was with someone, I said, I'll forward this on to you, but I didn't have his number, and I keyed it into my phone wrong. And then it sent.
Did they reply?
No, and I'm livid, because if I'd received that, I would have replied.
Yeah.
Because if I received that from a number I didn't know...
Yeah. But maybe they have got a friend called Fran, and they went just rung Fran up.
Yeah, maybe it was. The worst case scenario was that this was Fran's number.
Cut out the mystery middleman. Go straight to Fran.
So I've been asking via Twitter all week for people's stories of these texts, and it turns out that I was the tip of the iceberg, for want of a better phrase, which Fran wouldn't think.
Big lad.
Yeah. What Fran would describe as the whole iceberg, and so we'll be talking about this morning.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
This is XFM, and I'm Josh Widdicombe, joined by Rob Beckett.
Yes.
Correct. And we're discussing this morning receiving a text or sending a text to a number you have no idea of the number. And we've had some texts in, tweets in, presumably intentional. Yeah. Now, we've had quite a lot, so I'm just going to throw one out now to set the bar high.
Yeah.
So Debs Harris, mate, what you will of this, Rob, got a very odd text a while ago saying that the sender was taking the dog to Portugal and not to call the police. Well, I don't even know where to start on that.
It's ridiculous. Why is the dog going Portugal?
Well, just
a bit of holiday.
Chill out, hang out,
nice,
go and watch Sporting Lisbon. That is the correct reaction. Do you know you articulated the correct reaction there? But so what? I don't understand. We've got more, Rob.
Just don't text them. Never mind. Don't not tell the police. Just don't tell them.
Yeah.
Be a bit quiet if you're kidnapping a dog. That's my advice.
If there was a burglar, I don't know whether. And we don't need to go into this. No, I don't want to get on shaky legal ground with the Portuguese legal system. We have many more. We haven't got any more about dogs from Portugal. We should do, but that is the mere tip of the iceberg, as is now becoming the catchphrase this morning.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
As always on a Saturday morning, I am joined by news hound Joe Lycett, who will be... Well, this week he's doing a story from history. Hello, Joe.
Good morning, Josh. Good morning, listeners.
That catchphrase gets better every week, doesn't it? How are you, Joe?
I'm fine, Josh. I'm all right. I've been better. I've been worse.
What's up?
I think you know what's up, don't you, Josh?
I don't know, no.
Well, let me remind you, this is a news story from history. This time 1 week ago, comedian Joe Lycett bumped from the Josh Widdicombe show for Alan Carr. Who?
Let me explain. Alan Carr...
Yeah, well, you've got a lot of explaining. Send me a text going, oh, sorry, I've overrun with Alan Carr. I mean, that could be taken any sort of way, couldn't it? What were you doing with Alan Carr?
I'm just delivering gold standard radio. That's what I was doing, mate. Now, this week, Joe, you're doing a story from history. Take us through it.
Oh, I'm not done yet. I'm not finished. I felt like Cheryl Cole after the X Factor. X Factor USA. I felt humiliated. People were looking at me in the street. There was such fury on Twitter. There were at least 3 tweets from people telling me to calm down. So,
okay,
right, I've said my piece.
You said your piece. Let's move on. Let's try and repair these bridges. Joe, what happened this week in history?
Let me take you back, Josh, to 1981.
Oh.
Actually, let's not. Let's pretend that it's just happened, because that's more sensational.
Okay.
The president's been shot. The American president has been shot.
Yeah. Ronald Reagan.
The US president. No, yeah, Ronald Reagan. He was shot outside a hotel in Washington by a man called John Hinckley Jr.
Ooh. So what happened? Did he survive?
So he survived. He got a punctured lung and some internal bleeding, but because there were medics always hanging around presidents, aren't they?
They had a bowl of water that they put his lung in and then pressed it so that they could find the puncture. That's how it worked.
Yeah, that's science there, Josh. That's how they do it. And he was fine. The guy who did it apparently was because he was obsessed with Jodie Foster. That was his...
Did he get the wrong person?
I know, exactly. Well, apparently there's some film Jodie Foster's in where a president's shot, so he got so obsessed with that film and Jodie Foster that he felt like he had to kill a president. I was going to say, actually, Joe, you're not on next week, so I've got Jodie Foster and I can't have 2 homosexual voices on the show at the same time. Well, you know what, I'm happy to be bumped for Jodie Foster. She is a lesbian icon.
I mean, the guy tried to bump Ronald Reagan for Jodie Foster. That's the problem with the story. So if you could sum up the story, Joe, in one sentence.
I would... No. No, I can't do it this week.
No? The president's been shot. Well, Joe, thank you very much. You've returned on a high.
Yeah, I'm keeping this show together, Josh. I can't believe you let me down.
I'm sorry. I can only apologise. I'll never do it again.
I won't do it again until, I don't know, Jonathan Ross says that he's available for the show.
Well, all I'm saying is next week our guests in the first hour are pappies, and they can talk a lot, so don't do too much homework.
Okay, all right.
Well,
nice to speak to you. Have a lovely week.
To speak to you as always.
See you later, mate.
See you later,
Bye,
Joe.
Rob. Have a good show. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast. XFM.
It's Josh Widdicombe on XFM here, and this morning I'm joined by Rob Beckett for the first hour. Say hello again, Rob. I get you to say hello a lot.
I do a lot of hello, and yeah, that's right, mate.
No. Now is your chance to shine.
Oh, is it? What do you want from me?
Right, what I want, as we are talking this morning about texts sent to the wrong numbers, we're gonna go through some of them.
Yep, good.
Sam Davies. This is not a text. This is an answer phone message, but we're allowing that.
If it's funny,
well,
let's have it in. Let's
well,
not get bogged down
you be the judge of that, Rob. I'm buying it. Answer phone message from an elderly Irish lady saying she supported my decision to drop out of uni.
Really?
Yeah, I felt uplifted. Smiley face. No smiley faces on this show.
But he
hadn't dropped out of uni.
Oh, okay, but just got the message. But just still felt uplifted.
Maybe the lilting Irish tones. Everyone likes the lilting Irish tones.
Yeah, but that would be amazing answer phone message if you had left uni and everyone had the ump with you. You go, well, the mystery Irish woman loves it.
Do you think there's an Irish woman that is anti-education, and when she hears about people dropping out of uni, she She phones them randomly.
She just works at UCAS and gets all the rejected letters with the phone numbers on. She goes, I'll ring round, cheer them up.
I don't think. Well, did you go to uni?
I went to Canterbury Christchurch University College. So
What did you call it then?
Canterbury Christchurch University College. So
Is that as good as it sounds?
I did tourism.
You did tourism?
So, yeah, I mean...
What does that involve?
It was a BSc. It's a Bachelor of Science.
All right.
But I'm a scientist in tourism.
And what did you get for it?
I got 2-1.
Oh, that's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's not bad.
Tell me. So, what do you know about tourism now? Tell me.
Absolutely nothing.
No.
I did my.
You know what you needed halfway through for your useless degree? A phone call from an Irishwoman saying you should drop out. Drop out now. This is a waste of your time. Jess, who at Jess T with 3 S's, unacceptable. I've got a very low threshold for people changing their names on Twitter, but we'll carry on with it.
What's your name on Twitter?
At Josh Widdicombe. Oh, yeah. But it's easy when you've got a name that you know.
I'm Rob Beckett comic.
Rob Beckett comic.
Which, because
I think I've read that.
Yeah, but exactly. I thought, but it sounds like a really boring comic book.
Yeah.
Rob Beckett comic. What's it do? Just sort of goes, does his tax, goes out, does a couple of gigs, comes home,
gets his hair cut.
Yeah.
At a friend's house, bizarrely. A detail you told me earlier.
Yeah, well, she did my hair and makeup on I'm a Celebrity, and she lives over here, and she's quite good.
Oh, very clever. I remember your hair from I'm a Celebrity. God, it was fine. Jess, I once got a text that said, OMG, I've completely had a brain fart and not paid the cash to fee for iron quaglinos.
I don't know what any of that means.
That sounds like a crossword clue. 6 across. OMG, I've had a brain fart and not paid the money to.
What is it? What's Quaglino? Isn't that a restaurant?
What's Quaglinos? Can we quickly Google that?
Quaglino sounds like a restaurant.
Sorry, Dave, to make you do this. Straight. We'll
let's guess what you think it is.
I think Quaglino's is going to be an Italian restaurant, but I don't know why she hasn't paid the money to fee for it, because surely you pay there and then.
Yeah, because no one pays like a deposit for dinner.
No.
You just pay at the end. You don't do like direct debit for your dinner.
So, you know, Quaglino's is one of the places where it's like train line. If you buy your pizza 2 months in advance, then you can get it cheaper. Oh, I think I'm going to want a 4 seasons in 2 months, if I specify that now. But then if you, obviously...
Or like the sofas, like eat now, pay next year, interest-free credit. On a $7.99 pizza. Do we know what it is?
Quaglino's is a brasserie in London on Bury Street, St James.
I get confused with brasseries. What's bras?
No, that's Brasierie.
Yeah. It's too similar, isn't it? I mean, I've had some awkward places.
Yeah, when you told a girl, could you take off your brasserie?
There's nothing worse than eating a pizza in a lingerie shop.
Where are you? I'm in a brasserie. I didn't ask what you were wearing.
Yeah. It's really nice. Don't have to pay for it until next year. I'll text you about it.
Josh Widdicombe podcast. XFM.
Coming to the end of the first hour on XFM, and that means I'm going to say goodbye to Rob Beckett. Thank you for coming in, Rob.
Thanks for having me. I've enjoyed it.
Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, it's been good.
Good. You're off on tour?
Yes, in September and October, going around the country, doing my first stand-up tour.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm actually. It's a bit worrying that people might not turn up.
I have that fear every night, and my tour shows will always end with me going, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, you feel like you're begging by the end.
Please come again if I ever come here again. You'll have a wonderful time. Where does it start?
It starts in, I don't know. I should know that.
That's what happens to me every time. They go, where are you tomorrow? I go, I don't know.
It finishes I'm doing Catford in South East London.
Is that your hometown gig?
My hometown gig, yeah. There's a giant
homecoming
cat in the high street.
There is, I've heard about this.
Yeah, it's not a real cat.
No, obviously. It's not Bodmin.
It's like a plastic one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so doing Catford.
Explains a lot about your upbringing.
Yeah, like giant cats wandering around.
So as long as you sell out Catford, your parents will think you're a success. So all the other tickets don't really matter.
Yeah,
but
so
what date is Catford?
The Catford's the 29th of October, I think. I'm doing Leicester Square Theatre in London and stuff.
All right, don't push your luck, mate.
It's all on the website, robbecketcomedy.com, or buy tickets.
Why not Twitter? What's your Twitter
Rob Beckett
handle?
Comic.
At Rob Beckett Comic. You slipped into conversation earlier.
2 T's in Beckett. I think anything else I've not got a plug.
How do you spell Beckett? What's at the end of it?
It's Beckett and then comic. I don't really have to go through every letter. I mean, I think people get.
And the @ sign, if you hold down Shift and press the.
Basically, an A getting covered.
Thank you, Rob. It's been an absolute pleasure, and
Cheers, mate.
I'll probably see you before, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Before Catford.
Have me back on. It's been fun.
I will.
I'm not even to plug anything.
Do you know what I'll do?
Laugh.
I'll get you in at the start of the tour when you're actually trying to sell tickets and you're cacking yourself. Thank you very much.
Please come.
After the hour, we'll dispatch to Rob Beckett and we'll start talking about better comedy tours that you can go and see.
Oh, come on, mate.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
That's Muse on XFM on Saturday morning, and this is Josh Widdicombe, joined for this week only by producer Dave.
Morning.
Now, Dave, this is usually at this point, I would be berating Neil for his lack of knowledge of music trivia, which off air you've just told me you share.
Well, no, I'm just worried that I will share it.
No,
I don't know at this stage.
It's not a test. It's not a test.
I'm nervous.
It's more of a kind of fight for musical trivia to be used more in conversation in the XFM building. And I've been trying to make Neil drop pieces of trivia into conversation. So far, he's educated people on Delia Smith making the cake on the front of Let It Bleed, which went down very well. Right. And then there was a slightly awkward conversation where he told his wife that Johnny Marr had written this charming man in less time than it takes to play the song. And she was really unimpressed. And it really gave a look into their domestic life. So this week, obviously Neil's not here.
Okay.
So he can't tell us how he got on with his trivia that Ringo Starr had taken baked beans to India when they went to find themselves with the Maharishi. Which I thought would have been the best one. I was hoping for that conversation in Pret a Manger.
Yeah.
Where he told the barista, I don't know if it's a barista in Pret a Manger, trainee often is what it says on their badge. But we can't do it. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to set next week's task without Neil. Okay. So you told me you're going to America, so you can't do it. No, that's fine. That's fine, Dave. Okay. You clock in and clock off. You produce on your producer, Dave. That's fine. You're actually covering. You're going above and beyond as it is. So I'm gonna do this trivia on Neil this week. I'm going to tell him the trivia that Lee Mavers from the Lars demanded original 60s dust was on his recording equipment during the making of the first Lars album. Now that's true trivia.
I don't think that's true.
No, that is true. You can Google it. So I would argue that it's definitely true, Dave, because otherwise, how the hell would I have made that up?
It's a weird thing to make up.
It is. If I had that kind of imagination, I wouldn't be rotting away on Saturday morning at XFM. So I'll be trying that next week. But before that, let me play some of the Lars and see if you can hear that 60s dust bouncing up and down.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
This morning, Dave, we've been discussing. It started with me sending a text about circumcision to a number I didn't know by mistake. Yeah. That I can't be bothered to go back over the whole thing, but that is more or less exactly as it sounds.
Yeah, it was a misplaced text, wasn't it?
It was a misplaced text.
The biggest disappointment for me is that they didn't get back to you. I really wish they had.
I think in those situations I would get back to someone.
Yeah.
Now, so I threw this out on Twitter earlier this week. Got a lot of mainly people who'd received texts from numbers they don't know. Normally on a Saturday morning, because I'm a fan of order, I like to create a league table, so that we have a winner. So far, what would you say the winner is so far?
I quite like that Quiglino's.
Yeah, the woman who's failed. Now, this is about to get blown out the water. You're in charge of the league table, so you can be the judge of this.
Okay.
This is Annalise. Now, she says, look at the dates on these texts. 10th of December 2011, 3:53. Annalise, just checking my phone. Do we know each other? Kevin, smiley face. Annalise replying straight away. Yeah. I don't have you in my phone. ... Kevin replies straight away. Strange. Are on Facebook? ? Annalise doesn't touch it. Right. Of course she doesn't. Not with a barge pole. So that's what happens on December the 10th. Yeah. Fast forward. February the 6th, 2012, 3:40 p.m. Yeah. Not a dark night of the soul for Kevin. Hi, Annalise. It's Kevin. Do you want to hook up, Kiss? What is Kevin doing?
You got to give it to him. He's got patience.
What's happened in the 2 months that he thinks? Obviously, Annalise replied straight away, and they're now married. But I don't know what Kevin thought's going on there. Have you? I mean, Presumably, also the smiley face followed by. I think what's that? And I've just noticed he's misspelt her name in the final text, but that's neither here nor there.
No.
Presumably, Kevin, the initial text, just taking my phone, do we know each other, was actually a way of trying to get in with Annalise.
I think Kevin's somehow spotted Annalise on Facebook already. I think he's already seen. But then he wouldn't have had a number, would he?
No. I mean, I've got a number here. I can read it out for the listeners. I'm not going to. We could all text and say, Annalise, just checking my phone. Do we know each other, Kevin? It's my face. Have you ever sent a text or received a text from the wrong number?
Well, in my phone, I have my whole phone book, but then also all my email contacts have their numbers in as well, so it links in with all the work here at XFM. There's another friend of mine called Neil Cooper, and someone works here called Neil Cooper. And one of my friends, thinking they were having a joke, tried to text my friend Neil Cooper, said all sorts of disparaging remarks.
God.
Really went to town on our mate Neil Cooper. Unfortunately, it went to someone quite high up in sales here at XFM called Neil Cooper. I apologise profusely. Never got a response back either.
But now you're making a radio appeal.
Yeah. Neil, please get in touch.
Neil Cooper is listening. That was not Dave. It was Neil. It was producer Neil that did it. Unbelievable. I think Annalise is now top of the league table.
That's a good one, yeah.
But I'm not going to lie to you, Dave. We've got some strong contenders coming up soon.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM podcast.
It's XFM, and this is still Josh Widdicombe on your Saturday morning. And this morning, me and producer Dave are discussing sending texts to a number you have no idea of, based on my initial problem of sending a description of circumcision gone wrong to a number I didn't know. No reply, still livid. Dave, what's currently top of the league table, would you say?
For me, so far, it's Kevin trying to hit on a stranger known as Annalise with a 3-month gap in between the texts.
Yeah, which I'm wondering now if his hope was it was Annalise from Neighbours, the very attractive character from the mid-90s. Got a lot of us through our teenage years, let's put it that way.
It did.
Here's some... they're gonna... Well, you'll be the judge of whether they're challenging for the top spot. The top spot very strong this week. Crab, that's the name of the person. And you think, well, they've gone for a silly name. Presumably they've got a better. At Angry Squaddy. So consider they're at Angry Squaddy when describing whether you think their text is worth going top of the league table, Dave.
Yeah.
I once had a text telling me that they'd have my money by next week and begging me not to break their thumbs. I'm presuming that was probably meant for Angry Squaddy. I don't know if I was that worried about someone breaking my thumbs. I might go with a full phone call.
Yeah. I've got to commit a bit more than that.
Yeah, I'd probably be thinking, I could probably talk this one round. Josh Rifkin, hey mate, did you get the donkey punch I sent you? Now, he's just written that, so I don't know whether that's actually a mistake himself. I'm presuming that that's actually an answer to the question. I don't know. I don't know what a donkey punch is.
No. I think you'd know if you'd received one, though, from what I gather.
Yeah, presumably it's not a physical thing. Otherwise, you would know if they'd received it.
You would know.
Unless it's one of those boxes that you open and a boxing glove comes out on a spring, not a string. That'd
be rubbish.
That'd be really weak. Oh, it's just boxing gloves just doing kind of bungee jump thing. So we've got more of them coming up, but still top of the league table is Kevin's attempts to woo Annalise.
Yeah.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
And into the final hour, as always, joined by James Acaster. Yeah. How are you, James?
Excellent. How are you?
Very good. What have you been up to this week?
Been up to the usual stuff, Josh. Just
good. We're talking about this week texts, not just sent to the wrong person. That's trodden ground, James. We're talking about a number you don't know and textual chat with them. Have you come across any of these situations?
I've only ever received one number from a unknown, and that was when I was in a busy. Well, I actually wasn't a busy restaurant. It was a restaurant, and my table we were being extremely noisy. There was a lot of us.
Yeah.
And then I got a text in Spanish from a number I didn't recognise.
You weren't at Quigolino's, by any chance?
We're in an Italian, so I don't understand. And I got I later got one of my friends to translate it for me. And it said, "I'm feeling very relaxed now."
So what did it have to do with you being loud in a restaurant?
Well, I don't think someone had actually seen us being loud and then texted us, because that would have been quite the guess.
I think these were unrelated incidents.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think what you've done there is you've connected two anecdotes that are completely unrelated.
Well, that was where it happened.
Oh right, sorry. I thought it was going to be related to the restaurant chat.
No, I was in the restaurant and got the text. So I was setting the scene of where I was.
Oh right, being rowdy in a restaurant.
Being rowdy, I got a text.
Usual. And then, Orange Wednesday, Pizza Express didn't know what had hit it.
Yeah, it could have been from a sarcastic Spanish person in the restaurant who happened to guess my number.
So I'm feeling very relaxed now.
I'm feeling very relaxed.
Did you reply?
Yeah, I think I replied saying, "Who is this?" Which is the classic, but not in Spanish. So never got a reply to that. I tried to ring it once, and
how bored were you?
I've got a very boring life, Josh. Between things going badly for me, there's very little going on, so I had to.
You have to find your own scrape
to start ringing numbers.
So you rung a foreign number.
And the number wasn't active anymore. Whatever, it was just nothing.
So you think maybe it was the last thing they did before cancelling their...
I'm feeling very relaxed now.
I've made my peace with O2, and I'm cancelling my contract.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant before they ended their life.
Oh no!
Sent me a text. I'm very relaxed now. Everything's beautiful.
I can see a light at the end of a tunnel.
Yeah.
Just send that to James Acaster.
Make up a number. Then just send that to a loved one. I'm sure he'll get the message to him.
So that's the only experience you've had of that?
Well, my friend got a message sent to him by mistake, but by someone he knew. He's another comedian, and he was doing some adverts. And the director
sell out.
Yeah, exactly. Let's not say his name. But the director texted him saying, really looking forward to this. My name's whatever. Looking forward to working with you.
Can't wait to take the Yankee dollar.
Yeah, this is going to be great. Don't worry. There's a place in hell reserved specially for us. Anyway, they got he sent him the text.
Still living at missing out on the advert, aren't you?
yeah, really annoyed. But at least I got to direct it. No, but so he texted my friend that, and my friend texted back going, "Yep, brilliant, see you on Saturday." And then got a text from the guy immediately after saying, "Yes, duvet day. Can't wait to hug and kiss you all day long." And then loads of kisses. And then immediately a text afterwards going, "Oh Jesus, I'm so sorry. please ignore that message."
I've just remembered. I can't say that. I was gonna. Well, this is a way of checking if my mate's listening. After the next song, I'm going to say about a text that I got from one of my friends over at uni that I never confronted him about because it was too embarrassing for both of us.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Manic Street Preachers, Designed for Life, Welsh. All three of them.
Welsh, which is on the left of the United Kingdom.
Yeah, we were just thinking of facts about the Manic Street Preachers, and that's the one I've got. Used to be four of them. Now, James, as always, every week, you have a scrape. Basically, your life is a story of escapades that have gone wrong, and you come in to tell us one a week. And we call them your classic scrapes, because that is what the audience have created the hashtag of.
Yeah.
So what was your scrape this week?
I thought, because we're talking about texts and confusion with texts, the wife was that this is years ago now. There's this girl that I really...
How long ago?
4
Did you talk
years
into
ago.
the wrong cup on a piece of string?
Yes. I sent a telegram to the wrong maiden. Do you think that ever happened?
Sent it to the wrong wench?
Have you ever made that mistake?
No.
The page just totally...
Yeah, presumably. You get letters
Messenger.
to the wrong address.
Yeah, some messengers must have gone to the wrong person.
Wrong carrier pigeon.
Anyway,
we digress.
Probably about 4 years ago, there's this girl that I really fancied her.
Yeah.
And she knew that I did.
Yeah.
Because I'd told her.
How had you told her?
I had done one of my classic, not scrapes, classic misreaders of the situation where I think that because I feel a certain way, then surely...
Yeah.
This is mutual, and I very often, if I fancy someone, just tell them early doors and mess it up.
Yeah.
So I got overexcited.
You go all in.
Said, "Hey, we both feel like this, right?" She goes, "Not really." Great. So, but we continued to be friends because we got on really well.
Yeah.
But things were like a bit awkward. And I was like, you know what? Probably just doesn't really want me around much. I kept my distance. And then one Christmas, this is about a month after I told her that I like her, I got a text from her.
Oh no.
"I'm at a Christmas party and bored out of my mind. Please come and rescue me."
Yeah.
And I was like, and then she put the address at the bottom of the text. I was like, this is brilliant.
Playing into my hands.
Hello.
2 glasses of eggnog and let's see where it leads.
Yeah. So drove. He didn't even text back saying yes. I just drove there. So excited, just got in the car.
Yeah.
Straight to the venue, which by the way was a primary school because her dad worked at a primary school, used to at least. So everyone was kind of, it was like the staff do. And I got there and I didn't know what door to get in, so I texted her saying I'm outside. And then she came out. She looked crestfallen, just absolutely gutted, and I was like, "Oh, this is a strange reaction to United shining armours here."
Maybe the party had picked up. You were thinking,
yeah.
She was disappointed she had to come outside at all.
Yeah, and she literally said this. She went, "Oh, that's a group text, and you're the only one who showed up."
Oh no!
And I was like, "Right," and she, very reluctant. Do you want to come in? Oh, okay. I went in, and we were by about 30 years the youngest people there. Like, everyone else was very old, and we sat down on this table with a load of other pensioners, and she went, "I'm just going to go and get a drink," and then she just went, and I honestly didn't see her again for the rest of the. She did. She went into the kitchen and talked to some other people. I sat at this table with there's about 3 old ladies. And the music, they were playing 5, 6, 7, 8 by steps really loud, I remember, at one point when one of them was trying to talk to me and I couldn't hear what she was saying, and every time they went 5, 6, 7, 8, it's like it was counting me in to the next time I had to try and shout. Eventually I hit a point in the night where I thought, well, this is awful.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just try and have the best night ever to rub her face in it, so that when she...
Yeah. How long were you there? Why didn't you just cut and run?
Because I honestly didn't know what to do. I wasn't prepared. It's like someone...
Yeah.
It's like suddenly someone springs a surprise, throws a bucket of water in your face.
Yeah.
You don't know them instantly. So I was like, I don't really... And so what I did was I just got on the dance floor and started dancing, and it was me and one old man, and that was it. And we were dancing to... It was Virtual Insanity.
Right, by Jamiroquai. I wasn't just saying it was Virtual Insanity.
Yeah, Virtual Insanity. The Christmas classic. when I want to think Christmas, I put Virtual Insanity on. And me and him...
Return of the Space Cowboy, they didn't have it on them.
Yeah, me and him just dancing. And this is the most heartbreaking bit. I then, while dancing the Virtual Insanity, I remember looking at the door, the main double doors, there was a window in it, and seeing her with a bunch of young people who had replied to the group text there. And she'd obviously gone, "Don't go in that main room. A really weird guy is in there." And then they were looking at me and probably going, "Yep, he's dancing a Jamiroquai on his own with an old man."
Oh my word.
And that was I ended up making friends with a lot of the old people, if I'm honest. I had a brilliant night.
Would be friends for life.
Yeah.
None of them are still with us.
Yeah, all of them. Their funerals were brilliant. I was invited by group text. Wasn't meant to be there, but I turned up.
Thank you, James, as always. Thank you, James. You'll be back next week, presumably.
Hopefully.
Josh Widdicombe podcast. XFM.
This is Josh Widdicombe on XFM. I'm still joined by James Acaster. Hello.
Hello.
We were talking. You kind of digressed us onto people who've sent text to the wrong number, just that's in their phone book from just random numbers.
Which is worse.
And which is far worse. And this has reminded me of a text I received when I was at uni. And I never confronted the flatmate that sent me this because I was too embarrassed for both of us. And he never mentioned it, so I'm not going to mention his name, obviously. But I will just tell you the text. I was going to say read it out. I had it, one of those texts you had on your phone for like 2 years. You didn't want to delete it.
Yeah.
It was. I'm presuming to his girlfriend, and it was as follows. I know it off by heart. I can just say it. Was just going to give you a snuggle call, but sadly you seem to be out. Hope you're having a snunky time. Monker loves monkey. Monker loves monkey.
It'd be great. It'd be great if like seconds later you receive a text from her by mistake saying, I think we should stop seeing each other. Quite frankly, I can't take a vocabulary, just stupid words.
So I'm not gonna. I don't know if he's listening. Obviously, I'm not gonna use his name, so it's fine.
Yeah.
He can't blame me for that. But That was 2001, and I've never mentioned it to him because I was too embarrassed for both of us.
Josh Widdicombe podcast. XFM.
And that more or less brings us to the end of my show on XFM. This is Josh Widdicombe and James Acaster. We've had another scrapey final hour.
Lovely scrapey final hour.
Lovely scrapey final hour. And as always, you now get the chance to plug. And we used to just do this normally, but then producer Neil, who obviously rules with an iron fist, implemented a 30 seconds countdown on each of our plugging.
Yeah.
Because apparently it was taking up valuable seconds.
I mean, we're being fools to ourselves now, keeping it going while he's not here. I mean,
I know, but I do feel
we should be treated.
Yeah, we should be doing 4 minutes each,
like a supply teacher at school. Just going, yeah, he always lets us just draw for the last half hour. Normally, sir. Normally, we just get sweets.
Yeah, but I'm a stickler for the rules, James. Yeah. So, do you want to go first or second this week? You usually lead, don't you?
Yeah, well, it's always been the way of our friendship, Josh.
No. If you'd like to count us in, Dave.
I mean, luckily this week I'm on holiday with my family in Wales, and I have nothing to plug. But I'm just plugging this for myself and reminding myself that I've got a lovely break coming up soon. And personally, I can't wait to see them. They're lovely people, excellent company. Looking forward to having a few days on the holiday home, maybe even a walk around the local village.
Oh, God, you're so corporate. Well, you can follow James Acaster, but I'm not saying what Twitter handle he's got, because it's too late. Now, this is how you plug things, mate. I'm in Didcot tonight. Yep, Didcot for a tour show tonight. And then I've put in my diary, Monday is the end of the financial year, so I'm starting a new shoebox for my receipts. And then Newcastle Tuesday, Wednesday Buxton, Thursday Lancaster. Oh my God, I'm really busy. So I'm a lot busier than I thought I was going to be. I'm now regretting signing up for this week. You can follow me on Twitter at Josh Widdicombe, and tickets still on sale for the Hammersmith Apollo on September the 26th.
You always sang along to it at the end there. September the 26th.